All right, guys. So I wanted to do a quick update on ICE because I haven't seen too much about it in the news since the story of Alex Preddy getting murdered has kind of faded away into the background. But my brother actually sent me this one. This is from Mediaite, and it talks about how ICE has literally violated court orders over 50 times since December in just one state, and that's the state of New Jersey. So here it reads. The Department of Justice admitted in a recent court filing that it had violated over 50 court orders in immigration cases, and that stunning figure was just since December 5th and only included cases in New Jersey. Think about that for a second. That's 50 cases. They violated court orders over 50 times in just one state, and that's not the state that has been making the news, right? The state's that's been making the news is Minnesota, California, Illinois in some cases, but like this is just one state. Imagine how much they are breaking the law in all of these places. And the Democrats cannot figure out the words to be like, no, we want to abolish ICE. You've got frickin' Hakeem Jeffries going on Joy Reid's show talking about how he's like, yeah, you can use that language, but I'm not going to use that language, and I'm going to continue to fundraise the way I want to.
ICE has killed 8 people this year alone that we know of. 2 of them, Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy. The latest polls came out this week, AP polls. Over 60% of Americans now disapprove of ICE. That means in 3 weeks, it's gone from 30% to 60%. People are asking themselves, why are we, our taxpayer dollars, paying for masked, lawless men to terrorize our communities, kidnap people, take children, and kill Americans? So I ask you, and I'm doing a following up to Joy because I want an answer to this. You said you want to rein in ICE. I'm talking about the long term now. Why not lead and say abolish ICE? Because what you're telling us is you want our taxpayer dollars to pay for a lawless masked armed agency to continue terrorizing our cities. And I'm trying to figure out how you, as a leader, can be telling Americans that their taxpayer dollars should be going to ICE.
I don't understand anything that you just said.
I spoke English.
I don't understand anything that you've just said to me when I've made clear that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not brutalize or kill them. That's the whole reason we're in this fight right now. That's the whole reason the DHS is getting ready to shut down. That's
so
the whole
abolish
reason
ICE.
why
You agree with me and Joy. Abolish ICE.
Listen, I'm going to use the language that I want to use. You can use the language that you want to use.
He's not going to say abolish ICE because he's a pussy. And he can't say it because he doesn't want to upset donors, and he's afraid that Republicans are going to say that he's soft on crime. Anyway, Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs Tricia McLaughlin announced this week that she was resigning, and numerous congressional Democrats have called for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to step down or to be impeached. Recent polling shows public opinion souring on the Trump administration's immigration policies, even among Republicans. So, Tricia McLaughlin is like a spokesperson for DHS, and she resigned because she's like, there's no way I can continue to defend this. So that's huge. That's big. The fact that Kristi Noem still has a job and is still walking free and not in prison is also just mind-boggling, but that just is the pattern of the Trump regime. It's like the only people who work for Trump are other criminals, and he protects the other criminals. I mean, you've got people like not just Kristi Noem, but like Tom Homan, who is the border czar, took a cash bribe of over $50,000. They don't have any idea where the money went. You've got Stephen Miller, who is literally the one who's kind of orchestrating all of these illegal ICE raids and deporting people illegally and detaining people illegally and not giving them due process and not letting them talk to their lawyers and disappearing people in some cases. Like there are thousands of people that have just like disappeared and they have no record of where they are anymore. Their families don't know where they are. Their attorneys don't know where they are. He should be in prison. Kristi Noem should be in prison. Tom Homan should be in prison. Stephen Miller should be in prison. All of these people. So the fact that Tricia McLaughlin is stepping down is a sign that like this is literally indefensible at this point. Is literally indefensible because she's a spokesperson for DHS. Her whole job is to defend what DHS is doing, and she just resigned. Anyway, like I said, the article goes on, but This is literally just in the state of New Jersey. They're not talking about all the other states where ICE is carrying out operations where it's literally crimes against humanity, not just ignoring court orders and violating court orders, which I did a segment on this several months ago about how Kristi Noem knowingly violated court orders. And her response was, well, those were activist judges. And I was like, that's not how the law works, Kristi. That's not how it works. You don't just get to violate court orders because you don't agree with the court. So she's in contempt of court. She's doing illegal shit constantly. She is woefully inept and underqualified to do that job. But that is a theme of the Trump regime, not a bug. She is the feature. The fact that she has that job is not because she's competent. The reason she has that job is because she is completely and utterly incompetent, but she will do whatever Trump says in order to please Donald Trump. So that's why she has it. I saw this other video as well of somebody who lives in Minnesota who says, like, what's going on in Minnesota is far, far worse than what you actually see on the news. What hits the news is usually like the stuff that, is the most shocking, right? Like ICE beating the shit out of people in the streets and gassing them and literally murdering American citizens. But what they don't tell you is that, like, the people who are detained by ICE are they're eating rotten food, moldy food. They're being tortured. Like, they're leaving the lights on 24/7. That's a form of torture. Some of them are getting beaten. They're bludgeoned. They have, like, their skulls cracked open. And then sometimes they'll just release them without any, kind of clothing or food or cell phone or anything like that. They'll just release them back into the middle of nowhere in Minnesota, where it is currently like negative 20 degrees. So this is just the most unimaginable way to treat humans. I don't care if you think they're illegal immigrants or not. They still have a right to basic decency. And getting scooped up with no warrant, no due process, no court order, no nothing, getting tortured, being forced to eat crappy food, sleeping in a cell with like 50 other people, and then getting released without a phone or a way to contact anybody, without clothes to survive the Minnesota winters. It is unreal. And the other thing that she talks about in this video is that there are tons of people who are shit scared of leaving their house because they can't even go to the grocery store without a fear of, like, getting scooped by ICE for no reason. And I've talked about this back in December. I have family who lives in Minnesota, and they have verified that that's a thing. They have neighbors who are asking them to go to the store for them so that they don't have to leave. Like, imagine in the United States of America, you're under house arrest without any kind of court telling you can't leave your house. But, like, they literally are afraid to go out because they don't want to get stopped for randomly, like, getting gas at a gas station or getting groceries from the grocery store. Like, we live in the authoritarian police state hellhole of Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and all of these fascist retards who think, oh, all we have to do is just get rid of all the illegal immigrants. That's going to fix the problems in America. Is anybody's life better? Is your life better now that Trump has scooped up thousands and thousands and thousands of immigrants? Does it make you feel better? Honestly, I mean, like, it's so insane that this is where we're at as a country. But like I said, I wanted to do that quick update because that is literally just one state. And as I said in that last video, you're going to see it get really a lot worse as we get closer and closer to election time, because the fear is that, we're going to have illegals voting, even though I've done stories on this as well. Right-wing think tanks like the Cato Institute have literally studied this, and the instances of voter fraud are so low that it is statistically closer to zero than it is to 1%. But it doesn't matter because the point is not to prove that there's voter fraud or not voter fraud. The point is to intimidate people and to depress turnout and to do voter intimidation tactics to make sure that the Republicans have the best chance at winning. Because if it was a free and fair election and they allowed people to go out and vote in peace, they would get absolutely destroyed. Anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell as well. Whenever I drop a video, it will let you know when that video is uploaded. Make sure you share it and click the like button as well, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.